What if I told you that you have a second body made of pure light, capable of things that look like miracles, and that this knowledge was deliberately ripped from the Bible more than 1,700 years ago because it gave too much power to ordinary people? I'm not talking about cheap conspiracy theory or vague mysticism. I'm talking about documented historical facts. The Council of Nicaea in 325 AD removed more than 75 Gospels from the sacred texts, burned manuscripts in the public square, and classified as heresy, punishable by death, any teaching about the light body. Why? Because if you knew that you could activate this Christic body and access the divine directly, without a church, without a priest, without an intermediary, the power of religious institutions would completely collapse. They didn't hide it to protect you, they hid it to control you. But the truth always leaks through the cracks, and apocryphal texts found hidden in caves for centuries are revealing exactly what has been suppressed. You have an etheric body around you right now, made of particles of light arranged in geometric patterns, and when it's active, impossible abilities become natural. Jesus had this active. Buddha too. All the enlightened ones activated the Merkaba. And now you will discover not only what this light body is, but the 7 signs that yours is already beginning to awaken, even if no one has taught you this. If you feel at least 3 of these signs, leave a light in the comments. This is your confirmation that you are ready to reclaim the forbidden knowledge that has always been rightfully yours. There is a secret that has been wiped out of religious history with such force that to this day most people live without even suspecting its existence. We're not talking about cheap conspiracy theories or stories invented by sensationalist channels. We're talking about real documents, apocryphal texts that were burned in the public square, manuscripts hidden in caves for centuries, and teachings classified as heresy precisely because they gave too much power to ordinary people like you and me. The forbidden knowledge that religions hid was not about complex rituals or expensive offerings. It was something far more dangerous for those who wanted to maintain control: the truth about their light body. That second body, made of pure energy, exists around your physical body at this very moment, capable of performing what we call miracles, but which is actually just advanced spiritual physics that you have never been taught to master. And the most impressive thing is that if you recognize at least 3 of the 7 signs that we are going to reveal here, it means that your light body is already starting to activate, even if no one has given you permission or instruction to do so. The hidden truth was not hidden by chance. When religious institutions realized that this knowledge transformed ordinary people into spiritually self-sufficient beings, the decision was clear: erase, burn, classify it as heresy. Sacred texts were edited, entire Gospels were removed, and teachers who taught about the Christ body were persecuted and silenced. Think about it. If you discovered that you could access the divine directly, without intermediaries, without needing temples, without depending on religious authorities, what would happen to the power of these institutions? They would lose control, and no one in power willingly relinquishes it. For centuries, this secret of religions was kept under lock and key, transmitted only in restricted circles, while the masses were taught dependence, submission, the belief that power is out there, never in here. But something has changed in recent times, and that knowledge is leaking through the cracks in the system. Now you have a choice. Continue living as you have been taught, believing that you need someone between you and the sacred, or awaken to the hidden truth that has always been within you. Your light body is not a poetic metaphor or empty religious symbol. It is a measurable, documented, energetic reality that has already been photographed by science and experienced by thousands of people who have dared to investigate beyond what is allowed to know. When this body is activated, things considered impossible become natural: accelerated healing, expanded perception, manifestation of realities. Enlightened masters of all traditions had this awakened power, and not because they were special or chosen by some whimsical deity, but because they learned something that was deliberately hidden from you. And if you are feeling an uneasiness within you right now, a sense that there is something greater than what you have been told, perhaps it is because your etheric body is already starting to wake up, asking you to pay attention to the signs. The light body is not a pretty metaphor invented by dreaming mystics. It is a real, measurable energy field that exists in layers around your physical body at this very moment. Modern science calls this the bioelectromagnetic field and can even photograph through the Kirlian camera, which captures this luminous halo invisible to the common eye. Mystics of all traditions have given different names to the same reality. Gnostic Christians called it the Christic body. Practitioners of sacred geometry know it as Merkaba. Esoteric scholars speak of the etheric body, but they are all describing the same thing. This body is composed of photons, literally particles of light, arranged in specific geometric patterns that vibrate at different frequencies from the dense physical world. When you understand that 99.9% of your physical body is empty space filled with energy, it begins to make sense that there is a version of yourself made entirely of that light energy. The difference between living with the light body asleep and activated is like the difference between having a computer turned off or running at full capacity. When this second body is fully active, abilities that seem supernatural become natural. Accelerated healing that would leave doctors perplexed, instant manifestation of situations and objects, vision beyond the ordinary physical spectrum, even interdimensional travel experiences. Jesus demonstrated this at the Transfiguration on the Mount, when his body of light became visible to the disciples, and he literally shone like the sun. It was not magic, it was him consciously showing the activated Christ body. Buddha also attained this state of enlightenment, which is nothing more than the full activation of the light body, literally becoming the enlightened one. And here's the truth that religions have hidden. All the ascended masters you've been taught to worship have simply learned to activate something you also possess, but have never been encouraged to develop. The brutal truth is that 99% of humanity lives with this second body completely asleep, functioning at the minimum of its capacity, like a muscle that has never been exercised. You were conditioned to believe that these powers were exclusive to saints, prophets, and special chosen ones, when in reality, every human being is born with this latent potential. The light body is there, all around you, waiting to be recognized and activated through consciousness and specific practices. It is not a matter of deserving or being worthy. It is a matter of forbidden knowledge that has been systematically denied to you. And when you begin to understand why this knowledge has been hidden, when you realize that institutions need you weak and dependent to maintain control, the initial anger turns into a determination to reclaim what has always been yours by birthright. The truth behind the suppression of this knowledge is simple and brutal. Organized religions need intermediaries between you and the divine to justify their existence. If you discovered that you could activate your light body and access the sacred directly, without a priest, without a pastor, without a magnet, without a temple, without a complex ritual, and without a monthly donation, the power of these institutions would collapse overnight. Think of it as a business. If you sell the idea that only through your company can people talk to God, what would be the biggest risk to that business? Exactly. That people would discover that they have a direct line, that the Christic body is within them, that they do not need spiritual intermediaries. So throughout history, all knowledge that taught spiritual self-sufficiency has been hunted down, burned, and erased from the official record with a violence that only makes sense when you understand what was at stake: total control over billions of people. The Council of Nicaea in 325 AD was one of the greatest purges of forbidden knowledge in human history. More than 75 Gospels were deliberately removed from the Bible because they taught things that were too dangerous. The Gospel of Thomas, found only in 1945 in the caves of Nag Hammadi after being hidden for centuries, has Jesus saying clearly, "The kingdom of God is within you." Not in some church, not in heaven far away, but within. The Gnostic texts were systematically burned for teaching self-deification, the concept that you can become divine through the activation of the light body. In Islam, Sufi mysticism was brutally persecuted for teaching direct union with Allah, without mosques or religious authorities. In the Jewish tradition, Kabbalah was kept restricted and secret by teaching exactly the methods of etheric body activation and spiritual ascension. This isn't conspiracy theory. This is documented history that you can verify in actual historical archives. When you have true inner power, when your light body is active and you experience the divine directly, you no longer need external authority telling you what to think, how to live, or how much to give. And institutions don't give up power easily. They fight tooth and nail to keep you dependent, so that you believe you are small, sinful, unworthy, unable to access the sacred without their permission and mediation. The apocryphal texts that survived the purges clearly show that the original teachings were about personal empowerment, about activating the Merkaba, about becoming one with the source through your own light body. But these truths were replaced by doctrines of submission, guilt, and dependence. And now, after centuries of suppression, this knowledge is resurfacing. And you need to understand that feeling your light body beginning to activate is not a sin, it is not heresy, it is not dangerous. It is just you reclaiming what has always been naturally yours, and that scares those who have always profited from your ignorance. Sign 1, heightened light sensitivity. Have you started to notice that sunlight looks a lot stronger than it used to be? Artificial lamps bother your eyes in a way they didn't before, and you find yourself needing sunglasses a lot more often? Don't run to your eye doctor thinking there's something wrong with your vision. What's happening is that your light body has started processing photons much more intensely than before. It's as if you've lived your whole life with a filter in your eyes, and now that filter is gradually being removed, allowing you to perceive light in its true intensity. When the etheric body begins to expand, one of the first changes is precisely this luminous hypersensitivity, because you are literally beginning to see with more layers of perception beyond the physical eyes. Your energy field is expanding and beginning to pick up frequencies of light that previously went unnoticed, making even ordinary light appear brighter and sometimes even bothersome. Sign 2. Unexplained glow on the skin. People around you have started commenting that you are glowing, that your skin looks radiant, that you have a special glow even when you have not done anything different, have not worn new makeup, or are not particularly rested. This is one of the most visible signs of the activation of the light body, and happens because photons are literally being emitted through your physical skin. The Christ body, when it begins to awaken, is not only contained in the invisible energy field, it leaks into the physical world through a subtle luminosity, but perceptible in appearance. If someone took a picture of you with a Kirlian camera at that moment, they would capture a luminous halo around your body, much more intense than that of people with a sleeping light body. It is not people's imagination or empty praise. You are actually emitting more light, and this is a direct reflection of your etheric body beginning to pulsate with more intensity and higher frequency. Sign 3. See lights, orbs, and flashes. Do you see points of light floating in the air, quick flashes in the corner of your eye, small luminous spheres, especially at night or in low-light environments? Before you think it's a retinal problem or eye strain, understand that you're starting to see with your light body eyes, perceiving light frequencies that physical eyes can't normally pick up. These lights and orbs you see are real. only they exist at different frequencies than ordinary visible light, and most people can't see them because the etheric body is asleep. When the Merkaba begins to activate, it is as if you gain access to new channels of vision, expanding the spectrum of what you can perceive. These flashes are not random. They usually increase in moments of emotional upliftment, during meditations, or in places with more intense energy, proving that you are beginning to see beyond the physical veil that previously completely limited your perception of the energetic reality around you. Sign 4. Unexplained internal heat. Hot flashes rise through your body without warning, a feeling of literally being on fire inside even without having a fever or being in a hot environment. You can be in an air-conditioned place and suddenly feel this intense heat running through your spine, your chest, rising to your head as if someone had lit a fire inside you. This is not menopause. This is not anxiety. It is not thyroid problem. It is the light intensifying in your energy body, literally, photons increasing the vibration of your cells at a quantum level. The old masters called this the sacred fire or kundalini fire, and it happens when the light body begins to awaken and circulate energy in much larger volumes than you were used to. This heat is a sign that your etheric body is burning energetic impurities, expanding its ability to contain and transmit light, preparing you for higher levels of consciousness and manifestation that are only possible with the active Christ body. Sign 5. Feel energy from the hands. Your hands have started to heat up for no apparent reason. You feel constant tingling in your palms, and when you bring your hands together without touching them, can you clearly feel a field between them as if there were an invisible ball of energy? This is one of the most practical and easily verifiable signs of light body activation because the hands are the main energy portals of the human body. When the Merkaba begins to awaken, it first manifests in the extremities, hands and feet, before taking over the entire body. Try it now. Rub your palms quickly for 10 seconds and then slowly spread them about 2 inches apart, but without touching. Do you feel that sensation of pressure, that heat, that tingling? Now slowly zoom in and out as if you were compressing and expanding an invisible ball. If you can feel this clearly, your light body is already emitting energy through your hands in a measurable way, and with conscious practice, you can amplify this to levels of healing and manifestation. Sign 6. Light synchronicities. Light bulbs flicker when you pass near them. Electronic devices behave strangely in your presence. Do you feel seconds before when someone is going to turn on the light in a dark environment? Your expanded electromagnetic field is beginning to interfere with external fields, especially electrical devices and lighting systems that operate at frequencies close to your etheric body. This is because when the light body activates, you are no longer just a passive biological organism. You become an active transmitter of electromagnetic energy at sufficient intensity to affect the surrounding environment. Many people at this stage report burning out light bulbs with abnormal frequency, making watches stop working, discharging cell phone batteries quickly when they hold the device for too long. It is not bad luck or coincidence. It is your Christ body beginning to operate at higher frequencies and interacting with the energetic matrix of physical reality in ways that have not happened before. Sign 7. Luminous lucid dreams. Your dreams have completely changed in quality. Now you dream that you are made of pure light, that it flies effortlessly. It goes through walls as if they were mist. Or do you see everything in a hyper-reality so bright and vivid that the physical world seems opaque in comparison? During sleep, your physical body rests, but the light body is much more active and free because the conscious mind that normally limits these experiences is at rest. These dreams are not random brain fantasies. They are actual glimpses of your etheric body operating without the constraints and limitations of the dense physical world. When you dream that you are flying, you are not imagining flying. Your light body is actually moving without gravity, experiencing the freedom that is natural to it. When you walk through walls in the dream, you are experiencing the truth that solid matter is only frequency illusion, and your Christ body operates at frequencies that pass through what appears solid to the physical eye. Many people at this stage begin to have astral projection experiences without ever having studied or tried. They simply wake up floating above their own body, seeing their room from an impossible angle, perceiving details that they can later verify to be correct. This is not imagination or hallucination. It is your light body partially separating from the physical during sleep, and you gaining temporary awareness of this natural separation that happens every night. Masters who have completely mastered the activation of the etheric body are able to do this awake, at any time, consciously traveling into dimensions beyond the physical. You are in the early stages of this awakening, and the more you pay attention to these light dreams, the more you recognize that they are real experiences of your second body, the easier it is to access this state consciously. And if you have recognized at least 3 of these 7 signs in yourself, there is no longer any doubt. Your light body has already begun to awaken, and now the question is not if this is real, but rather what to do with this information. Modern science is beginning to catch up with what mystics have always known. We are beings of light, temporarily imprisoned in dense bodies of matter. German scientist Fritz Albert Popp revolutionized biology by proving that all living cells emit biophotons, literally light at ultraviolet frequencies that can be measured and quantified. It's not a poetic metaphor. Your cells are literally glowing right now, emitting particles of light in specific patterns that change based on your emotional and mental state. When you are in heightened states of joy, gratitude, or love, your cells emit more light, with more coherent and organized patterns. When you are in anger, fear, or deep sadness, the emission of light decreases and the patterns become chaotic. This scientifically explains why enlightened people literally glow. It's not a figure of speech, it's a measurable reality that the activated Christ body emits massively larger amounts of photons than bodies with the dormant Merkaba. The human bioelectromagnetic field has already been mapped and can be measured up to 3 meters away from the physical body using sensitive equipment, and people in deep meditative states or moments of spiritual ecstasy can expand this field to up to 10 meters or more. The Kirlian camera, invented in the 1930s, photographs this luminous aura that previously only clairvoyants could see, proving that it is not imagination or a special gift of a few. We all have this halo of light, just at different intensities. Even more impressively, recent research shows that human DNA emits photons, especially when a person is in heightened emotional states or during deep meditations. Your genetic code is literally a transmitter of light, and when you consciously activate the light body, you're rearranging these photons into patterns of greater coherence, frequency, and intensity. Quantum physics has already proven that your body is 99.9999% empty space filled with energy and light. You are much more space and energy than solid matter. When you understand that activating the light body is literally increasing the luminosity and frequency of your energetic being through the coherent reorganization of photons, the bridge between science and spirituality disappears. Everything becomes advanced physics. It is not magic, it is not supernatural, it is not violation of the laws of the universe. It is conscious application of energetic principles that have always been available but have been systematically hidden from you. The forbidden knowledge that religions held was not about secret rituals or magic words. It was about how to rearrange your own structure of light to operate at higher frequencies. And now that science is validating what apocryphal texts have always taught, it becomes increasingly difficult to deny that the etheric body is real, measurable, and activable by anyone willing to learn. The question now is no longer, does it exist? But rather, how do I consciously activate? The good news is that you don't need complex rituals, secret initiations in hidden temples, or permission from any guru to start activating your light body consciously. You just need clear intention and simple practices that anyone can do. Start with gentle sun gazing. For the first 15 minutes after sunrise, when the rays are still at a safe frequency for the eyes, look directly at the sun for a few seconds and visualize absorbing these solar photons directly into your etheric body. The sun is the greatest source of light available to you, and when you consciously absorb that light with the intention of activating the Merkaba, you are literally feeding your light body the purest fuel possible. Do this for just 2 or 3 minutes initially, gradually increasing as you get used to it, always at safe times, first 15 minutes from dawn or last 15 minutes from sunset. Many ancient masters practice this on a daily basis, and it's no coincidence that entire civilizations worshipped the sun. They knew something about light absorption that was lost and needs to be recovered. Light breathing is another powerful and immediate practice. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and as you breathe in, visualize golden light entering through your nostrils, descending into your lungs, and expanding throughout your body as if you were literally breathing liquid light. As you exhale, visualize any density, any heavy energy coming out as dark smoke, leaving only the golden light filling each cell. Do this for 5 to 10 minutes daily, and you will begin to feel internal warming, tingling, a sense of expansion. All signs that the Christ body is responding to your conscious intention to activate it. Food also matters more than you might think. Colorful fruits and vegetables are rich in photons because they absorbed sunlight while growing. So when you eat an orange, a red tomato, dark leafy greens, you're literally eating concentrated light. The more vivid and colorful your food, the more photons you are providing as raw material for the light body. So diets of processed, colorless, lifeless foods keep the etheric body weak and asleep. Conscious exposure to natural light is key, at least 30 minutes daily in the sun, no sunglasses when possible, letting the light touch your skin and enter through your eyes, without looking directly at the sun in the middle of the day, obviously. During meditations, visualize your body filled with white or gold light, expanding this glow beyond the physical body to form a 3-meter luminous sphere around you. Working with crystals, especially clear quartz, naturally amplifies the light field because crystals have a molecular structure that organizes and amplifies electromagnetic energy. It's not cheap mysticism. It's a verifiable physical property that technology uses in watches, computers, and precision equipment. The secret of religions has always been that the light body responds primarily to the conscious intention to activate it, not to complicated external rituals. When you practice these simple techniques with the clear intention of awakening your Christ body, you are sending a direct command to your energy field, and it responds because that is its nature. It has been waiting for years, decades, maybe your whole life, for you to finally pay attention and take conscious control. When the light body reaches full activation, something extremely rare but documented throughout history, the capabilities that emerge seem to violate all the laws of physics that you have learned, but are actually just natural manifestations of operating in higher frequencies of reality. Spontaneous healing becomes common. The immune system operates 10 times stronger because it is receiving information directly from the etheric body, which exists beyond the biological limitations of the physical body. Wounds heal at impossible speed. Chronic illnesses disappear without medical explanation. The body simply reorganizes itself into patterns of perfect health because it is aligned with the original energetic blueprint of the Merkaba. The manifestation of thoughts into reality happens so rapidly that you need to learn to strictly control what you think. people with a fully active Christ body report that thoughts materialize in hours or days rather than months or years, because their light field is operating as a powerful frequency transmitter that rearranges the reality around it to match internal patterns. It is not magic. It is quantum physics applied consciously through a fully awake and operational energy body. Natural telepathy emerges because you are no longer limited to communicating through sound waves. You transmit and receive information directly through the expanded electromagnetic field of the light body, which instantly connects with other energy fields. Clairvoyance develops because you begin to see with the eyes of the etheric body, which perceive frequencies far beyond the ordinary visible spectrum. Past, future, parallel dimensions, everything exists simultaneously, and you gain access to information that has always been there but was invisible to limited physical eyes. Very rare cases even document bilocation, the ability to manifest consciousness in two places simultaneously, because when you completely master the Merkaba, you understand that physical location is just frequency illusion, and your consciousness can operate at multiple points in reality at the same time. And perhaps most extraordinarily, aging slows down drastically or even stops altogether because the physical body is constantly being regenerated and informed by the light body that exists outside of linear time. Masters with a fully active Christic body live for centuries maintaining a youthful appearance, something that seems impossible but is documented in apocryphal texts from all traditions. Jesus had this completely active, so he healed instantly, manifested bread and fish out of nothing, saw the future, raised the dead, and finally transcended to physical death. Buddha reached the same level of activation and therefore had full perception of past lives, could read thoughts, manifested visible light from the body. Babaji, the immortal Himalayan master still alive according to reports, has kept the physical body for centuries through the fully operational light body. These were not gods or special chosen ones. They were human beings who learned the forbidden knowledge that was hidden from you and applied the activation techniques until they completely mastered the etheric body. You're in the early stages of this very process. And yes, it takes time, it may take years or decades of conscious practice, but it's absolutely real and possible for anyone willing to invest the necessary energy. The question is not whether you can do it, but whether you are willing to commit to the path now that you know that the hidden truth has always been within your grasp. For centuries, this knowledge was deliberately hidden from you, because people in power, religious leaders, institutions, mass controllers knew exactly what would happen if you discovered your true potential. You would become uncontrollable. Someone who knows how to activate the light body does not need intermediaries, does not accept dogmas without question, does not easily submit to external authorities because he has discovered the supreme authority within himself. That is why the apocryphal texts were burned in the public square. That is why teachings about the Christic body were classified as heresy punishable by death. That is why forbidden knowledge was locked away in secret societies accessible only to a chosen few. It wasn't to protect you from dangerous information. It was to protect their power from your release. But the truth always emerges, no matter how many times they try to bury it. And now it is in front of you, naked and raw. Your light body exists. It is all around you at this very moment, pulsating with dormant potential. And it can be activated through simple practices that anyone can do. If you recognized 3 or more of these 7 signs while reading, the activation process has already begun in you, even if no one has given you permission, even if you have never formally studied it. Your etheric body is waking up because the time has come for it to wake up, because you are ready for this truth, because something inside you has always known that there is more to it than you have been told. The increased sensitivity to light, the inexplicable glow on your skin, the lights you see in the corner of your eye, the internal heat rising up your spine, the energy coming out of your hands, the luminous synchronicities, the dreams where you are pure light. None of this is coincidence or imagination. It's your light body asking for recognition, asking for conscious attention, asking you to take control of the process instead of letting it happen passively. And the decision is now yours. You can ignore these signs, go back to normal life, pretend you haven't read this, and carry on as before. Or you can accept that you have been called to something greater, that the hidden truth has finally come to you, and consciously begin the path of activation that masters have walked before you. You do not need permission from a church, temple, mosque, or guru to access your light body. You have the innate right, given by the universe itself at the time of your birth, to develop all the capacities that have been implanted in you as a potential. This is your divine birth being reclaimed, your spiritual inheritance being reclaimed, your power being taken from the hands of those who stole it and returned to where it has always belonged, your hands. The Christed body is not the privilege of saints. It is your natural energetic anatomy that has just been waiting for you to wake up to it. The Merkaba is not a distant mystical symbol. It is your vehicle of ascension already built, just turned off, waiting for you to turn the key. If you felt at least 3 signs, leave a light in the comments now. Let that light shine as confirmation that you've recognized the truth. And if you're ready to go deeper, to learn the advanced techniques, to really master the conscious activation of the light body, you know what to do. Keep on that journey, because the knowledge that has been hidden is now being revealed, and you're exactly where you need to be to receive it. Now you know the truth that has been hidden from you for centuries. Your light body exists. It is pulsating around you at this very moment, and it can be activated through simple practices and conscious intention. The big question is, what are you going to do with this information? Are you going to keep it in the drawer of your mind as another interesting knowledge that never becomes action? Or are you really going to start applying the techniques of conscious activation today? Think about it. How many people live their entire lives without ever discovering that they have this dormant power? How many die without ever experiencing even a fraction of what the activated Christ body is capable of doing? You're now no longer part of that group. You know, and knowing puts you at a crossroads, comfortable ignorance or transformative truth. Which one do you choose? Start small if you need to. 5 minutes of light breathing in the morning, 30 minutes of conscious sun a day, paying attention to the signals your etheric body is sending. Do you really believe that it is a coincidence that you have come this far, that you have read all this, that you have recognized the signs in yourself? Or is your light body already guiding you, pulling you into the awakening that you came to experience in this lifetime? Religions hid this forbidden knowledge because they knew it sets you free. And now that you know, staying in prison is choice, not fate. Then answer me with total honesty. Are you ready to take control of your own activation, or are you going to wait a few more years, a few more decades, maybe a few more lifetimes to begin? If you want to continue deepening this knowledge, if you want to learn advanced techniques of Merkaba activation, if you want to completely master the etheric body that has always been your birthright, subscribe to the channel now and activate notifications. Because this is just the beginning. The hidden truth is vast, deep, and each new video will take you deeper down the path that the ascended masters have traveled. Don't let that knowledge die in you for lack of action. Your light body is waking up, and it needs you to wake up together. The choice has always been yours. It always has been. So what will it be?